the Savage World horror Leatherface figure from Funko. And this line, as soon as it was announced, I was like, okay, I'm definitely getting one or a few of these. I only ended up picking up Leatherface here. Leatherface is absolutely one of my top 3 favorite horror movie villains of all time. And I adore this redesign. I think they absolutely killed it. You know, the interplay with the mattes and glosses as well on the paint is just fantastic. And yeah, just super cool. In fact, recording this video actually inspired me to go on eBay, find a lot of this entire wave. There's only one wave of this line, and pick it up, plus a sweet extra, which I'll probably review next year for Halloween. So yeah, some good stuff going on. So yeah. The Horror Hound from Creature Replica, and this is a figure that I found out about from a Just Jay Hernandez video here on YouTube, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I need that. This sculpt is absolutely insane, and sculptor Jean St. Jean just did an absolutely just stellar job here. I mean, that sells it alone. The articulation's a little dated, but that definitely does not matter. It's just a presence on the shelf. It looks great, especially if you, like me, do a kind of horror display for the Halloween season with your figures. Just, you know, definitely nothing to like pass by if this interests you at all. The Power Rangers Lightning Collection Putty figure from Hasbro. This is a figure that if you watched any of my videos this October here in 2023, you've seen these in the background. I also reviewed this figure this month, and just, yeah, actually I think this is the figure that I kicked off the month with review-wise, and just, yeah, I mean, it's so simple, but this is a matter of a very kind of simple, someone might say lazy repaint, absolutely just knocking out of the park. I mean, it's a a putty just with a skeleton design, cast in black, and just, yeah, I don't know, it hits all the right notes for me. Like this totally sold me. I got 2 right off the bat, and then they end up going on clearance, so I bought out a whole peg, so now I have 7 of these, and yeah, so good, even despite the Cobra Kai logo on the back, which I'll either paint over or find a way to remove. But yeah, just such a good figure, especially considering its simplicity. The Cult Classics Saw Jigsaw Killer and Puppet figures from NECA and Real Toys. This is a figure I've had for a long time, and I had it packaged most of that time. I actually just only opened this up a couple years ago. I absolutely love the sculpt. It's incredible. There's just so much detail going on here. I mean, again, with stuff connected to NECA, you're gonna get great sculpts, and this is just a version of Jigsaw that I've always wanted, and it's just awesome to see. There are a bunch of variants for this figure as well. One in all red, which I'm still trying to hunt down for a good price. Then you get a couple, one that has John Kramer with the hood down in his hair. Another version that has him with the shaved head and the hood up. So, you know, a lot of variants here. All of them, you know, the same base body, but all look very cool. And I'm just still hoping for someone to do a fully articulated Jigsaw in this look. There is a company that did it, but it goes for stupid money, like $500, so I'm not getting that. But still hoping NECA, especially because they did a Toonie Terrors of Jigsaw recently, hoping we see that fully articulated. But for now, this is definitely the best Jigsaw figure I know of. The Shoko Seiho Kamen Rider Dark Kiva figure from SH Figuarts. I still haven't seen the show, however, I mean, just look at it. It's a vampire-based Kamen Rider, and yeah, incredible sculpt, super fun to pose. Color scheme is just absolutely on point. I mean, again, red, black, and then that teal just absolutely sets it off. I mean, totally very Halloween. Just love it so much. I mean, it's been on display since I got it, so there's that. The AEW Supreme Malachi Black figure from Jazzwares, a figure that by all means absolutely encompasses the whole Supreme label. Just the soft goods, the fact that he comes with both his TV entrance mask and his pay-per-view entrance mask as seen here. You know, just a fantastic figure. I think my only critique in my review really was that like the butterfly joints don't really do much. But beyond that, like everything else about this figure is absolutely phenomenal. The Resident Evil Tyrant figure from Toy Biz. This figure came out in the mid 90s, and I was working at KB at the time, and I had this entire line. However, I've always loved the design of the Tyrant, the original Tyrant, and this figure absolutely like hits a lot of notes. They've done better as time has gone on. I still need to get my hands on the Palisades figure that they did later, but I still like love this figure. I was so happy to be able to pick another one up after I'd gotten rid of mine when I got rid of my original collection. But just so good, and I'm still waiting for another toy company to pick up the Resident Evil license and give us a fully articulated Tyrant, but for now, this one is, just tops for me. The Mythic Legions Figure Obscura Mask of the Red Death figure from Four Horsemen Studios. I'm not huge on Mythic Legions, basically for me with that entire line, it's either stuff that I'm kind of like, that's cool, but it's not my thing, or they completely go like full on in my wheelhouse and I have to have it. This is one of those cases. The Mask of the Red Death is one of my favorite short stories in general. Absolutely my favorite Edgar Allan Poe story, and they just knocked out of the park here. Sculpt is insane. The soft goods are also insane. There's wired soft goods at that. Just is such a good figure, and you can't go wrong here. The Friday the 13th Part 7 Jason Voorhees figure from NECA Toys. This figure is just so good, and honestly, this was a really hard choice because I love all the Jason Voorhees figures from NECA that I currently own, and it was kind of hard to choose like which one I wanted to kind of take the spot in this list. But this Part 7 Jason, beyond being one of my favorite Jason designs in general, the figure itself, just the accessories absolutely nail it. Just a whole slew of weapons, most of which are gardening equipment. And the fact it has the tearaway mask and stuff like that just really puts this one over the top for me. The Evil Dead 2 Ultimate Ash figure from NECA Toys, and this is the reissue of this figure. This had come out a few years ago, and NECA thankfully reissued this. I'm so happy to have had this. They actually did two different versions of Ash. You get Ash here, kind of more human and in his Deadite form, and then the other figure was Ash towards the end of it, Evil Dead 2. I'm still hoping that they reissue that figure. However, this one is incredible, great accessories. It looks absolutely phenomenal, and the fact that we get Deadite Ash is just icing on the cake for me. The Spawn's Universe Deluxe Violator figure from McFarlane Toys. Not much to say here that I didn't already say in my review. This is just an absolute beast of an action figure, just sculpt all over, paint all over, just, oh, it's so hefty, it's so great. It's pretty much a perfect monster figure in my eyes. So yeah, just absolutely one of the best spooky figures in my collection. The WWE Ultimate Edition 7 The Fiend figure from Mattel, and this is a figure that came out just as I was getting back into pro wrestling. As the pandemic was happening, I was just looking for things to get into and to kind of occupy my mind. And I regret that I missed a lot of the Fiend run just because I was just kind of getting into it. And when this figure came out, I saw it, I was like, that's really cool, but I don't really have any connection to that yet. And so I kind of passed it up. And yeah, I'm so glad I finally got my hands on this figure because it is great. Even the head sculpt is a little small, but it's so good. I love the depth to it. I love the kind of grit to it. It's just overall an incredible figure, and just really glad we got not just one, but two different versions of the Fiend in Ultimate Edition form. Finally, at number 1, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1/12 Collective Leatherface figure from Mezco Toys. And this is a figure that came out very recently within the past couple of months. However, it just absolutely claims its place. I mean, it's Mezco and they absolutely go all in. This is my first 1/12 figure, my first Mezco 1/12, and man, I'm impressed. A lot of figure companies claim to have the ultimate version of a character. This is about as definitive as you can get with that. I mean, you get every look for Leatherface from the original movie. You get a ton of accessories, including this chainsaw, which has sounds, and that's considering the scale. Like, it's mind-blowing. Yeah, I just cannot say enough about this figure, and my review for this should be up right now, so if you want to hear more, check that out. But all that being said, like, I don't think it gets much better than this when it comes to spooky / horror action figures. So yeah, this is absolutely number one. And one last time all together, here are all of my top 13 favorite spooky action figures in my collection as of 2023. So there are my top 13 spooky action figures in my collection as of this year, 2023. So I kind of came up with the idea for this video just on a whim. This was very much a last minute thing. Just was trying to think like what I wanted to put up for Halloween. And this struck me, especially as I was going through my collection. So I guess from there, I just kind of want to know, do we have any overlap? Or most importantly, just kind of what is in your top 10, top whatever, spooky Halloween themed horror action figures in your collection. So let me know below and let's talk about it. Like, I don't talk enough horror on this station, even though it's literally my favorite genre of movies and of a lot of things, honestly. So, this was definitely fun to do, and I'm probably not going to do this list again next year because that wouldn't make sense. It's going to be mostly the same figures, but maybe the year after that, or maybe in a few years, do an update and kind of see where things are, because there's a lot of good stuff coming out. So yeah, that being said, I just hope you had fun watching this video. I hope you have a fantastic Halloween and just a fantastic October in general. Oh, I guess we're at the end of it, but October into November. Hope you're enjoying fall, and yeah, just if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you were entertained by this, and if you were, I hope you come back, because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. I should be doing more horror, so hope to see you back. And ultimately, for those of you who have been here, thank you so much for being here, and let's just talk some more toys. And you know what I always say, I just hope you are well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true. And most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.